Good morning students, welcome to the session on data structures. In our previous lecture we have seen about the Tower of Hanoi problem. Okay, Tower of Hanoi problem, and I told you people how the problems are recursive in their own nature. Okay, and already I told you people what are the rules and regulations which are associated to your Tower of Hanoi problem. Okay, now let us see them. See, these are the objectives that we have discussed about the Tower of Hanoi. See, why we are discussing this problem means in order to understand the recursive functions utilization. Sometimes our problems itself will be solved by using the recursive nature. Okay, they will be having the recursive nature in the problem itself. Okay, see the rules and regulations that I have given for your Tower of Hanoi problem is we will be having three towers. Okay, tower 1, tower 2, tower 3. In tower 1 we will be having the disk. Okay, how they will be arranged from larger disk to smaller disk. Okay, like a pyramid. Okay, like a pyramid. In the same way, we need to shift all those things to tower 1 to tower 3, but we should not pick them all once, and we should not arrange the things like smaller disk. Onto that, we should not arrange the larger disk. We have discussed those things only here. Okay, only one disk can be taken once. Okay, each move consists taking the upper disk from one of the rod. You can take only one disk from one rod at a time. Okay, and the top of the other disk that may be already present on the rod. You can take any disk from any rod, but you should pick only one rod from them. Okay, only one disk from them. Okay, you should not pick the rod. You should pick the disk. And no disk can be placed on the top of the smaller disk than itself. You should not place the larger disk on the smaller disk. These are the objectives that we have discussed in our earlier sessions. Okay, we have seen how we have solved the given problem by using the three disks. But in our today's session, we are going to see the logic or else algorithm program, I can say, in which we will be using the coding part in order to solve the Tower of Hanoi problem. Okay, this is the puzzle, I can say, where you people will be placing some disk onto a tower 1 and you need to move them to the tower 3 by using the auxiliary tower, or else logical tower, I can say, by using them you need to move the disk. Say suppose tower 1, tower 2, tower 3. These are the towers. Okay, these are the towers. As I have taken the example in the previous lecture, I will be taking this here. Consider that we are having three disks like this. I am tracing for three disks and I am writing the logic like this man. I hope it is visible to you people. I will be placing this onto your group. Just go through it. I have written like this: wide Tower of Hanoi, that is TOH. I have written like this. TOH is nothing but Tower of Hanoi. Int n will hold the number of disks. Here the number of disks is 3. Okay, and I am naming the towers A, B, C. Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 3. This is my source, this is my auxiliary tower, this is my destination tower. Okay, A tower, B tower, C tower. Or else I can directly give the numbers like Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 3. Okay, I am writing the logic like this. If n is greater than 0, n is nothing but what? Number of disks. Say suppose if there is no disk, then there is no logic to go for this particular Tower of Hanoi logic. Why? Because when we are having at least one disk, I can move that from one tower 1 to tower 3. But if I am not having any disk over there, then there is no need to execute this logic. I hope it is clear. Then after that we are writing Tower of Hanoi. Again I am calling itself. This is the recursive call. Again it will go to the same function. But here I am reducing the n value from 3 to 2. Again I am making the changes in towers. Okay, in the previous step I have sent A, B, C, but in this case I am changing the positions of B and C. Here it is B, here it is C, but in this case when I am calling this function, I will be interchanging C and B here. Okay, and after the interchange of this, again I will be calling the function. Okay, like this I will be following, and after that I will be writing C out, move the disk from A to C. In the first case, I will be moving the disk from A to C. After the completion of this particular statement, then only I will be performing this. And after completion of these two statements, then only I will be performing this. Okay, consider that this is our logic. I hope it is visible to you people. If it is not, I will be writing it once again. Okay. Now, this is my code. I hope it is clear to you people. Tower of Hanai n-1 comma A comma C comma B. In the first case, we are sending A, B, C, but when I am internally calling itself, then I am changing the position of B and C, and then I am saying C out, move from A to C. A to C, in the first case it is A to C. In the second case it will be A to B. Okay. We should think that we have interchanged and we have passed it to our function. Okay. And then I am writing tower of Hanai n-1 comma BAC. Here I have interchanged my positions of tower B and tower A. Okay. Like this I will be writing my coding part for your tower of Hanai puzzle. Okay. Now let us try to implement. I have implemented by considering the tree part. See here, this is my first position where I will be having 3 disks onto your first tower, and I am sending the input as 3 towers, and first tower, second tower and third tower. Okay, in the first position what should I do? I should move the disk from A to C, that is what 1, 2, 3. I have written 1, 2, 3. But you should not write this here. Why? Because when I am calling this function, internally it is making one more function call. See, 3 is greater than 0. Yes, it is true. Then I need to enter into this if condition, and again I need to execute this. That is tower of Hanai n-1, that is 2. From 3 it became 2. 2, again I need to interchange the values of B and C. Here I am making C value, here I am making B value. That is 1, 2, 3 is there no? Here the tower values, but here I am making it as 1, 3, 2. 3 is C and 2 is your B. Okay, I hope it is clear. But see, before executing this printf statements or the cout statement, again I need to execute what? Again I need to call the function. Again I will be making a function call. Here the value will become like this. N value will become 2, A value will become 1, and B value will become 3, tower 3, and C value will become 2. In the first case it is 1, 2, 3, but in the second case it has become 1, 3, 2. I hope it is clear. And after calling this, again it will be checking n greater than or equals to 0, 2 greater than or equals to 0, greater than 0, yes it is true. Again I will be coming into the condition. Again I will be reducing the value of n, that is from 2 to I will be reducing that to 1. Again I will be interchanging. I will be swapping the values of B and C. These are 3 and 2. Here it is 3 and 2. 3 and 2. From that 3 and 2, I will again interchange the values from B to C, C to A. That is, again it will become 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Done. When I am making this call, again I will be changing the value of n. N is 1 now. N is 1 now. Again, the value of B has changed to 2 and value of C is changed to 3. That is this. When I made this call, again it will be going to this particular function. Again it will be checking 1 greater than 0. Yes, it is greater than 0. Then again I will be making a function call, that is n minus 1, that is 0. Okay, no need to swap, no need to do anything. Why? Because when it is greater than 0, then only we will be doing something. When it is less than 0 or else equals to 0, we won't do anything. Just I will terminate this function here, and in this particular internal function, I will be making a function moves. Move a disk from A to C. That is, A is what? 1 here, and C is what? 3 here. That is what we have written here. 1, 2, 3. The first move that I am making is 1, 2, 3. See here, this will be returned here again. Mean to say that I am returning this to here. Okay, mean to say that the number of disk is 2 here and 1 is 1 only, but B value is 3 here and C value is 2, and it will be printed what? 1, 2, 3. You need to make a moves from tower 1 to tower 2. After this, I need to execute this part. N minus 1. I have completed this part now. Again, I am completing this part. N minus 1. B mean to say that this thing. B is nothing but your 3. B need to be shifted from second position to first position. That is 3, and A position, that is 1, should be placed in the second one, and then 2. And after this, if I am reducing the n value, then it will become 0. For that reason, I will be shifting the disk from 3 to 2. These are the positions. First position is 3, last position is 2. That is what I have written here. And again, I will be completing this part. In the first part, I have completed 1, 2, 3. Okay. I have made this in the same way. We will be executing this part. N minus 1. Left part. Mean to say that until this, we have completed only this part. Okay. When I want to come to this, then I need to again begin with the 2. Okay. N value is 3. I need to execute this now. 3 will become 2 here, and again I am making a change. B, A, C. B is what? 2, A is what? 1, and C is what? 3. And again I need to shift 2 to 3. But it is not now. Again I need to go for this. N minus 1, A, C, B, and N minus 1, B, A, C. Same way as we have done with the left part, we have to do it in the right part also. Here I will be getting 2 to 3. Here I will be getting 2 to 1. Here I will be getting 1 to 3. Okay, in this way we will be getting the positions that we have to make a movement. Okay, so these are the 3 steps that you need to remember. See here, these are the final steps that I am getting from the logic. See, 1, 2, 3. This is the first step I have executed, and the second step 1 to 2, and the third step is 3 to 2, and then 1 to 3, and then 2 to 1, and then 2 to 3, and then 1 to 3. This is how we have executed the logic. Now let us try to implement on the towers. These are the sequences in which I need to make the moves. The first step that I got is 1, 2, 3. From the 1, I need to make a movement from 1 to 3. This is the first step. Okay, so I will be taking this first disk and I will be placing that onto 3 over first step, and the second move is 1 to 2. Now the second step is 1 to 2. I will be taking the second disk and I will be placing it on second tower. Okay, second tower. Done with the second move, and I will go with the third move, that is 3 to 2. This is the third tower, and I need to take this disk and I need to place that onto second tower. 3 to 2. This is third step. I will take this smallest disk and I will place it on the second tower. Over third step is over, third move, and the fourth move is 1 to 3. In the next step, I am moving the largest disk to 1 to 3. That is fourth move. 1 to 3. I will take this disk and I will place it on third tower. And after this, I am having a movement like 2 to 1. That is from the second tower to first tower. That is the smallest disk. I will be placing it in the first tower. That is here. Okay. And after this, I am having 2 to 3. 2 to 3. That is from the second tower to third tower. Then this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the sixth step. So I need to transfer this disk to third one. That is, I will erase this and I will place it in the third tower. Okay, after this, the final is 1, 2, 3. I need to take out this. I need to take out this smallest disk and I need to place this on the last tower. See, these are the moves I have done, and finally I got my answer, moving all the disk from one tower or a source tower to following all the rules that have been specified in the Tower of Hanai puzzle. Okay, I hope it is clear to you people. See ma, here I have taken only 3 days. Even you can apply this logic for 8 days, 20 days, 24 days, 60 days, 64 days. How many number of this that you want to take, you can take. If you are following this logic, then you can easily move the this from this tower 1 to tower 3 by following the same sequence. Okay, these are the examples. This Tower of Hanai is the best example to explain that some problems will be recursive in their own restrictions towards our problems in order to recursive in their own manner. Okay, and see, we will be having recursive functions. These recursive functions will be dividing your programs into subprograms, I can say. From there it will be halting the main program, again it will move for the next program like that. Mean to say that again and again it will be calling itself, but by executing itself it will be completing the problem. Okay, that is what the first thing that I will say as an advantage. It will be making a larger program into subprogram by calling itself. No need to write the program also, that program will be executed by calling itself, I can say. And see, the main disadvantage of this recursive call is the computer languages like Fortran and COBOL. These two languages will not support these recursive functions, COBOL. Okay, so in those particular cases they will be using the iterative statements, that is looping statements, in order to attend the recursive calls. Okay, and when we are executing these recursive functions, we need some extra memory. Extra memory, why? From where we are returning it, from where we have to store the function calls, from where we have to store the instruction that we have executed, from which we have to start the execution again. Those need to be stored in your memory. For that reason, we need to have a additional memory. Already I told you people about the return function. Say suppose in the last session the last step we have written 1 to 3, and again from 1 to 3 again I need to go for 2 to 1 to 2. We need to remember all the returned statement, I can say, in your recursive function. But in case of your iterative statements, they will be difficult. If you are using recursion, you can easily understand what we are doing. But in case of your iterative statement, it will be a little bit of difficult, I can say. In this particular thing, recursive calls, we will be putting the restriction, you will be putting the conditions inside your recursion calls, I can say. But in case of your iterative statements are nothing but your for loop, while loop, do while loop. In those particular cases, it will be specifying the condition. According to the condition, it will be getting into the looping statement, and they will be executing the statement step by step, I can say. But in this recursive calls, we will be dividing the larger program into subprograms, I can say. Okay, by which you can execute the things. Okay, like this we will be having a few advantages and disadvantages when we are comparing with the iterative statements. Okay, and this is about your recursion. Okay, I hope it is clear to you people. We will discuss the new concept, that is your queue, in our next coming lecture. Okay, that's it for now. See you in the next one. I will be placing this. See here, I have written printf means this is done in your C language, but no problem. In case of printf, you can write C out in order to convert from that to C language to C++. The logic will be the same one. I hope it is clear to you people. See you in the next one. Thank you.